So here we go. Let me just set the stage and reset the stage for everybody. Here goes. How many of you on this call have kids? Okay, cool. How many of you on this call have someone in your life who has kids and you feel like you have kids? Right? Okay. Let me explain. Yeah, there go the hands. Let me explain why why I'm starting here. Okay. When we're when we are raising kids, doesn't it go like this? Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, boy, do they need us. And we can influence and guide and teach, right? Hopefully impact in a really positive way the kids at that age. Let me ask you guys a question, and I know I'm going to see it in your faces. What happens? What happens with the kids from about from about 15, 16 to about 23 years old? What happened? They know everything. We don't know what we're talking about. Mom, dad, you don't know this, you don't know that, you don't know this. Okay? Who's experienced that? Okay. Okay. Now, what happens around 24, 25, 26, 28, 30? Mom, dad, can you help me with this? Can you help me pay for that? Oh my God, you were that right? So I just want you to know that that happens everywhere. So if we're having a leadership conversation, do you guys know that I have people on my team, right? Let's just talk about this. I've been doing this for a minute. I've been doing this uh just shy of 20 years, right? So I have people on my team, right, that to this day are extremely coachable. You know, you guys hear me reference Roxanne Coralejo a lot. She's got a lot of people on here and she's been doing some great things, right? She's a regional director on her way to regional vice president. Guess what? To this day, she remains an extremely coachable person, right? And here's what's important to understand about that. Not only is she coachable, right? She's coaching people. And these things are duplicating out in the team. And then there's other people, right, in the organization, and they're like, hey, I've had enough of your teaching. I've had enough of your training. I know what to do. I know where to go. I'll call you if I need you. Guess what? If you're a leader, you got to let those people do what they're going to do. But hopefully they've done it with a modicum and a level of respect, right? Why do I tell this to you before I dive into my topic? Because I anticipate all of you becoming leaders to whatever degree you want to become in this organization. And when you are starting to birth leaders, it is incredibly important that you stay connected with them, help them, but allow them to spread their wings, right? Like, one of the easiest ways to learn, the easiest way to learn is to copy. Isn't that true? Like I heard years ago, in ACN, I heard somebody say this from the main stage at one of our big events. He said, the thing about our business is really funny, right? In school, you get in trouble for copying. Isn't that true? In ACN, they put diamonds in your pin if you copy. You got to copy the right people, right? Copy the people that are getting places where you want to go. Right? One of the things that we tell people all the time is your ego is not your amigo, man. Your ego, like, I can do this, I can do that, I have a better way. I'm going to tell you guys something. After 20, 30, now 31 years, do you think the company has thought about putting flyers under people's doors? Do you think the company has thought about doing mass texting and mass mailing? Do you think the company's tried all those things? They've done all those things, and our system falls within the policies and the procedures of what is allowed in the network marketing direct selling space, and just keep the car between the lines. Does that make sense, everybody, so far? So the whole purpose of this, and I know that this might be a little rudimentary for some people that have been around for a long time, but listen, we do have new people that are jumping on this call, and I want to make sure that we're taking them through this properly. So as you guys hear me say, almost every call that we do, we only do 3 things in ACN. We get customers, we build teams, and we promote the events. And there are positions in the company And the more customers you have, the higher position you hold. And the more money you can earn from the same work. Super important to understand this. And I think this is one of the things that we forget because we've been around for a long time. We do 3 things in ACN. We get customers, build teams, and we promote the events. No money is ever earned in our compensation plan. No dollar moves through the compensation plan until a customer has been acquired. And as you move through the positions in the compensation plan, which is based on the number of customers in your organization, the more customers you have, the higher position you're going to hold. You get paid more and you get paid better for doing the same things, getting customers, building teams, helping them get customers, and promoting the events. So probably for some of you that have been around for a minute, like, man, Dean, this is so super basic. Like, what happened to the last 4 years where you're training us on this stuff? You guys, let me tell you very quickly. It always comes back to the basics, right? Now, trip on this. It's not just about you understanding the basics. It's about how many people on your team in different organizations can also do the basic core elemental things that we need to do to advance and build our businesses. Because if it's only you that's able to do it, guess what? You can build a side income on the side of your job, your business, and what it is that you're doing, but you're never going to have the truly explosive growth and reap the real rewards that come out of a business when you've created a business that has duplication and a business where we have developed leaders to do what we do. You know, the old thing is in a traditional business, you do not want people in your traditional business who can do what you do. Because in a traditional business, if people can do what you do, your inherent value comes down because more people can do what you do. That's why in a traditional business, what do? You hide your information. You keep your stuff because you have to separate yourself from the pack. Who understands what I'm saying? Yes or no? Okay, better believe it. So here, it's the exact opposite. It's 180 degrees the opposite. Your inherent value in ACN is going to be completely predicated on your ability to duplicate leadership so you have multiple people who can actually do what you do, say what you say, perform like you can perform. And now you have duplicated, so you have to be very clear about this. Is what you're doing worth duplicating? So we're going to talk about this. So here goes. Now, you guys, this is going to be show of hands type of thing for a minute while I set you guys up for this conversation. So here goes. Okay. By show of hands, and by the way, you're not being called out. This is really important, right? By show of hands, how many of you have not hit ETL yet? You're maybe brand new. You're not an executive team leader yet, but you're working towards it. Okay, there's a handful. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good deal. Good deal. All right, I appreciate you guys being so transparent because you're probably brand new, which is great. Okay, by show of hands, how many of you have not hit regional coordinator yet? Show of hands. You're not an RC yet. Okay, more hands, right? Okay, fair enough. Very good. By show of hands, how many of you have not hit regional director yet? Okay, got it. By the way, that should be everybody's hand almost because I know the handful of regional directors on here. So, okay, by a show of hands, how many of you have not hit regional vice president yet? How many? That's almost everyone. And watch this. Watch this. To let you know, I'm in this conversation with you. By a show of hands, how many of you have not hit senior vice president yet? I haven't. Okay, here goes. Ready? Check this out. Here's a really simple message to start April, okay? Write this down, please. To get where you want to go, you have to do things you haven't done. To get where you want to go, you have to do things you haven't done. And what so many people will come to learn, but they don't understand when they are new is this. The team that got you to executive team leader may very well not be the team that gets you to regional coordinator. And the people that are with you on your run to regional coordinator may very well not be the team that gets you to regional director. And the team that gets you to regional director may very well not be the team that gets you to regional vice president. So then people go, well, how in the heck is that possible? Because I've been with them since this, like, how is that? Now, could somebody go with you the whole way? Sure, they could. If they share your vision, they have a work ethic, they're willing to go through the ups and downs and the highs and lows and all the things that come along with any business that you build, much less an entrepreneurial business like we're in. But there's a very reasonable chance that the people that got you to the position that you're at may not be around for the time that you get to the next position in the organization. So you go, well, how is that even possible? Well, guess what that requires? That requires you being the consistent element and factor in your business. So if your business is waiting on, and the success of your business is predicated on what somebody else is doing, you may be in trouble because we don't know what they're doing. We can only help them. So the most important factor in your business is what or who? It's you, right? You guys, it's you. Here's what's crazy. Do we want the people on our team to go the distance with us? Of course we do. You build those relationships, right? But your responsibility falls in the three most important words in ACN. The three most important words in our company: lead by what? Example. Lead by example. The old quote is, what you're doing speaks so loud, I can't hear a word you're saying. Right? So we want to show them. Okay. How do you do that? How do you do that if you're an up and coming leader? Well, I'll give you a couple of hints before we wrap up the call. Number one is this. If you are a leader on the call, you can present, you can train, you can explain the business, you can sign someone up, you can do those basic things. Here's one thing I would tell you: don't do anything alone. This is the buddy system. Why lose and miss the opportunity to get someone trained and teach them? Why miss that opportunity when you're working in your business and what you're doing, you could be showing someone what to do? The buddy system is tremendously important. I try not to do anything alone. We're working with a new great group in Southern California. We're rarely doing anything alone. We identified an up and coming leader over there, right? And now it's starting to duplicate out. So one of the magic parts of our business is when you get the ability to duplicate your business, you get the ability to multiply instead of add. You want to make sure that you are cognizant of that. You're aware of those opportunities. Don't let those things go by. Right? What would that look like? It might look like something like this. I call my business partner, Twyla. Hey, Twyla, listen, I'm launching our new business partner, Sherry, on today. I would love for you to be on. I want you to hear what I go through, kind of hear the questions and answers and kind of show you how we're doing this. We're going to do it from 2:30 to 3:30. Can you make yourself available? Back in the day when I had that opportunity, I would jump at that chance to listen to an Al Sajaz, a Jeff Weber, a Mike Basutti, walk someone through getting up and started. You guys, that's free lesson, right? So check this out. This is all out of my notes, by the way, you guys. I am a note taker. I think I'm a note taker and a note maker when I train. And I'm going to tell you guys something. If you commit this business to memory, that's a challenge. I say this on every single call. People can't remember a grocery list. How are you going to remember a training from all these different, you get to the store, honey, wait, what did you say we needed honey? I can't remember. Come on. People are like, oh man, I'm remembered up here. You're not remembered up there. Like, you can't remember what you did yesterday. Come on. Have a reference so you have volumes of information that you can teach and train your team. Anyway, so the point is that everything in our business duplicates, good or bad, right or wrong, effective or ineffective. But if you are not at a position that you are shooting for yet, and here's a hint, none of us are, Okay. So I'm not calling any of you out. I'm calling myself out as well. I'm with you. If you are not at a position that you are striving to get to, I'm letting you know that there are things you're not doing that have to be done to accomplish it. Now, I've also said this many times on this call. Said if your goal was to become an executive team leader and you are an executive team leader and that was your end goal, I will be the first to congratulate you, high five, and we'll celebrate at the next national. Done. It's just I believe that most people, when they get started in ACN, their end goal is not executive team leader. They want to get that done in the first few hours of their business. They want to go senior vice president. At least I do. How about you? Okay, cool. So when you understand that to get through and break through to a position, you're going to have to do some things that you're not currently doing right now. Otherwise, there'd be no difference in the positions. There'd be no difference in the money. So what do we really need? What are we really talking about here? The thing that I have found that has been one of the factors, one of the biggest factors in someone advancing in our business is consistency. How consistent are they? And what am I talking about when I say consistency? Are they talking to people on a regular basis? Do they pique the interest or build rapport and relationships with people consistently? Do they acquire customers on the services week over week, month over month? Do they do that consistently? Do they plug into all of the available trainings on Zoom or in person? Right? And I'm not saying they have to be at every one every time all day. You guys have jobs and lives and people and families and kids and work and stuff. But can you be consistent? And I'll tell you guys, I've said this for a long time on Al's call. If some of you were as consistent in your ACN activities as you are being on this call, you'd all be promoted. Who understands that? Like, you know, this is not meant to be a rah-rah hype session. That is not what this is at all. This is about setting the stage on a daily basis. He does this call 5 days a week from 9 to 9:30 or whatever it is Pacific time. And the idea is to get the day started in a way that gives you the best chance to take action. And sometimes it's in the form of a reminder. Oh man, I haven't been saying this. I could be doing that. I met that person. Why did I walk away and not say something? They were so great. And now you start to kind of recognize this on more of a daily basis. And if you apply what we talk about, you're going to have results. And then the magic in our business happens when through the numbers that you talk to, the right person comes into your organization and you cannot stop this person from wanting the information, from being excited about the opportunity, from wanting to learn, wanting to advance their business. And all of a sudden you go, oh my God, I found someone. Now, if you want to know if consistency works, you guys have heard a lot. You've heard Roxanne and I talk quite a bit about what's been going on in Lubbock, Texas, and there's a genuine level of excitement there. And was it a big deal that electricity was opening? Absolutely. And Roxanne did something that she had never done. She moved out of an area where she lives to open up a market and start to meet people. Well, guess what? Tons of no's, tons of no-shows, tons of I'm interested and they didn't get back to her. But she was what? What's the word? She was consistent. And eventually that led us to someone who led us to someone who led us to someone. I made 3 trips out there in a month's period of time or a month and a half and got things rolling. Well, one of the individuals, and there's a number of them on here, but one of the individuals who took this seriously, I want you to hear her story because I talked to her right before this call. And we were talking about an electricity customer, but she was so excited in her voice. I'm like, what is going on? And I said, you're 100% going to talk on Al's call. So I just want her to share with you why she's doing ACN. Her first response, like when her husband decided to do it, why she's doing ACN and what's happened and what created the level of excitement that she has this morning. And I really want you guys to hear what she says because it's great. So can we please unmute Tiffany Grant, or can we make her a co-host so she can unmute herself?
All right, can you hear me?
There you are. Okay, you're good. Okay. Okay, Tiffany, listen, I appreciate you being on here. I'm super excited for everybody to hear not only about what's happened in your business, how you got started, what's going on, but what our conversation was this morning. So I'll turn it over to you.
Good morning, guys. So, whenever my husband came home and said he was going to sell electricity in Lubbock, I was like, "You do you. I'm not doing that. You can do whatever you want, but I'm not going to do it. Not interested." So I went, ended up going to a meeting, sitting at my first meeting right next to Roxanne, and I'm hearing all of this information, and I look at her and I'm like, "Oh, why am I not doing this? Like, he should have signed me up first." So I got in. Um, it it has been such a huge blessing to our family, and I just hit regional coordinator last or at the beginning of this week. So I'm excited about that. But the thing that I was telling Dean this morning, I was like, the proof and the evidence is so apparent to me now. Like I've gotten paid 4 weeks in a row, different amounts, but it's every week I've gotten something. And so I just can't wait to see where it goes, where this takes us. And I couldn't have done it without Dean and Roxanne because they have been there for me whenever I needed them. Dean actually I got off track at one point and had to call Dean and said, "I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm getting a lot of no's." And he said, "You're talking too much." And I was. So, but that helps tremendously. So it's been wonderful, and I'm so excited to see where it goes.
You guys, this is so great. So can we give Tiffany a thumbs up, clap her up and everything, you guys? Now look, here's what's crazy. Ready? You guys watch this. She did not know ACN 4 months ago. In 2 months and change, she went from putting her name on an application to hitting regional coordinator and all the bonuses and all the stuff that come around with it. Right? So this is what's so great. Anybody can do that. The next person that you talk to, how lucky for them that they're hearing from you. And how about yourself? You guys, you should be that next person, right? Let's make your story from April 4th moving on. Let's be talking about your story at the end of the month. 10 new business partners, 150 customer points, 200 customer points. Now you're a regional coordinator, and you were not a regional coordinator at the start of April, and you are here at the end of April. That's legit. For those of you who are regional coordinators, guess what? You got to do something a little bit different to become a regional director. That's what I've been talking about. If you're a regional director, you got to do something a little bit different to go regional vice president. You got to do a little more. You got to do a little better, right? Does that make sense, everybody? Like I'm telling you guys, you do not have to be a one woman or one man army in doing this. You have a team of leaders and a team of people that are there to help, assist, and be there with you every step of the way. But the old thing from Jim Rohn is this, right? He's like, look, if you don't move, we don't move. Like if you're not doing anything, the leader, like it's not our job to advance your business without you. You understand that, right? Like if you're a very skilled person and you're doing a whole bunch of stuff advancing somebody's business and they're not really participating, there's an issue with that. And the issue is this: you're stealing their victory, right? Just because you're skilled and you're advancing their business, you're stealing the most important thing that they can get out of being involved in a business like ours. And that's the development and the education and the skill set that they develop to become that leader. That's the value. So at one point, they can do this without you. And if you're the one doing everything, I'll sign them up for you. I'll do that for you. I'll present for you. I'll do that. Like that's never been the arrangement. The arrangement is not do it for you. It is do it what? With you. So anyway, you guys, that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope this is helpful. I hope it gets everybody on track and letting you guys all know that you can have a very, very, very productive April and be in a different position in your ACN business by the time we get to May. I can't even believe we're in the second quarter, but whatever. And you know what? Why can't Tiffany's story be your story? Right? Why can't her story and these other leaders, why can't their story be your story? Because it can. I don't care if you've been in for 2 years, 3 years, whatever. Today's your new start date. You know what? Hit ETL all over again. A couple new business partners, get some services signed up, and now we're talking about the story for you in the month of April. So I just want you guys to know there's a place at the top of the company for whoever wants to go. There's not one spot. It's open. It's a hotel with all the rooms open, and anybody can get one. You just got to get to the hotel. And the last little piece of information I want to share with you guys. The leaders will be willing to teach, train, mentor, coach, and help you, so long as you're willing to go wherever the leader is. Right? That could be an in-person event. Yeah, we have events in Southern California. There's events in Texas. There's events wherever, and there's these Zoom events. Zoom is great because it makes the world a little bit of a smaller place, but nothing will replace the face-to-face, in-person, shake your hands. I will see you in Cleveland at the national training. Like, that's what we're talking about, and that's what we're building into. A whole bunch of us on this call are going to be at the Lake Tahoe leadership. It's going to be amazing. We'll talk a little bit more about that next week, but everything we're doing is about building into the Cleveland International Training Event. So that being said, I will turn it back over to you. I appreciate the opportunity to be with you guys. Make April count, right? Like let's do everything. And I've said this for so many months. Let's do everything that we can to make sure that we're not in the same position at the end of the month that we are right now, that your business has grown and that your business has advanced, and served and teach and help the people on your team. So I will turn it back over to you, my friend.